Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. This is the English translation of the Majlis of Hazrat Maulana Qamar Uzzaman Saheb Damat Barakatuhum, which took place on Sunday morning, the 20th of Zulhijjah 1444, corresponding with the English date 9th of July 2023. Hazrat Wala starts off by quoting the hadith or portion of the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. هل تدرون من أجود جودا قالوا الله ورسوله أعلم. Now Hazrat Wala is turning our attention to this point specifically and expressly, that the Sahaba with an open heart at that time negated all the knowledge that they had. Their own knowledge, their own understanding, what they could have answered to that question, they negated all of that. So much so, on one occasion, Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam asked the Sahaba that, what city is this? The Sahaba then replied, Allahu wa Rasuluhu a'lam, Allah and His Rasul know best. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam also asked them that, what month is this? They said, Allah and His Rasul know best. Meaning that they did not take into consideration their own knowledge for even one moment, which we say that they made fana of their ilm. That we understand from this here that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught them to negate their own knowledge. And they reached such a level that when Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam then started asking them questions, then they said, no, we don't know. You tell us. It is greatly possible something could have changed, or wahi could have come down, or this or that or the other. You teach us, you tell us. So from amongst the great fundamentals of suluk and tasawwuf is to make nafi of ilm. Hazrat Wala is speaking about a person who wrote a letter, and then Hazrat Tanvi then said to him that write it again 25 times, or write 25 letters, something like that. Then you would be forgiven. But nevertheless, after writing so many times, in not one of those did he write anything about his islah, etc. So in the akhirat, here we're talking about this or that or the other. In the akhirat, there will also be interrogation there. And the person who has been given his book of deeds in his right hand would then become successful. Yaha pagri uchalti hai. यहाँ पगड़ी उछलती है, उसे मेखाना कहते हैं. Here you find turbans flying off the heads of people, meaning Islah is taking place here. A person is taken to task. Okay, let's continue. A very senior person came to Hazrat Tanvi, and then he wanted to strike up a relationship with Hazrat Tanvi, and then Hazrat Tanvi then prevented him, did not allow him to carry on with that relationship of Islah and Tarbiyat, saying that Mufid ko Mustafiz se barha hona chahiye. That the person who is benefiting the person who is the mentor, supposed to be more progressive, more superior than the one who is the seeker. You have come here, you speak Arabic, you write Arabic, you about his Arabic. So, in that sense, there, meaning that he would not be able to make nafi of that there. So, he will be coming with those type of airs, etc. So, what type of faida then will he achieve here? Therefore, go somewhere else. Maybe you would benefit somewhere else. Because there's ghurur, there's that type of deception and rebelliousness in this type of knowledge. And here in this particular path, so long as a person does not humble himself, he will not benefit. Jisne mitaya apna namo nisha haft iqlim ka bana sultan. The person that humbled himself totally, completely, self-effacement, annihilation of one's nafs, self. That's the person who then reigns supreme. That was Hazrat Maulana Muhammad Ahmad Saheb. And what about Hazrat Haji Saheb? He used to say, "Main to apna namo nisha mita beta, shohra uradiya mera kisne." I sat hidden away here, erasing any effects of myself, humbling myself, hiding myself completely and totally. I just so wonder who had made me so famous and spread around my name and my word. You know, on certain occasions, it even happened such that certain people came and sang couplets in the manqabat and in the praise of Hazrat Tanvi, due to which actually his heart, instead of becoming happy, kabidgi, his heart started becoming restricted, rather closed, and his attention was turned away from that person. So even that happens. So here, Rawal Bayhaqi fi Shu'bul Iman, Bayhaqi relates in Shu'bul Iman from Anas ibn Malik radiyallahu ta'ala an, that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is mentioned, Hal tadruna man ajwadu judan. Do you know who is the most generous? The Sahaba then replied, Qalu Allahu wa Rasuluhu a'lam. Allah and His Rasul know best. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam then himself answers and says, Allahu ta'ala ajwadu judan. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the most generous. Didn't Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bring you into existence? Didn't Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant you Iman, Islam, and the list goes on? Here also, Hazrat Wala is saying, we're saying that they said Allahu wa Rasuluhu a'lam. So many people come, but they come with these airs with them. What does barai? That they know so much. What would they benefit? When you come here, you would have to humble yourself completely and totally. So they said, Allahu wa Rasuluhu a'lam. So Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam then said, Allahu ta'ala ajwadu judan. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the most generous. Thereafter, Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam then goes on to say, Thumma ana ajwadu bani Adam. Thereafter, I am the most generous of Bani Adam. And then Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam then continues to say, وَأَجْوَدُهُم مِّن بَعْدِي, and the most generous from amongst Bani Adam after me is rajulun, that person, alima ilman, who learns some knowledge, فَنَشَرَهُ, thereafter he passes it on. He spreads it. He doesn't restrict that knowledge to him. يَأْتِي يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ أَمِيرًا, on the day of Qiyamah, he would come with honor. Amiran wahdahu. أو قال أمة واحدة. He will come as an army itself, as his own ummat. Now here, no type of knowledge actually is specifically spoken about, meaning the rank of that knowledge. It could be greatly possible that a teacher of the maktab, somebody who is teaching Qaida Baghdadi, somebody who is teaching Takhti, Alif Bata. What about Hazrat Maulana Nur Muhammad Janjanvi? What can we say about him? He was the peer of Hazrat Haji Imdadullah. Will he not come on the day of Qiyamah as an Amir, as a person who comes as an ummat on its own with honor, etc.? So this is the qadr and the value that we're supposed to have for knowledge. But what to do and what to say? Today, those who are in the silsila of ilm and knowledge, themselves, they suffer from an inferiority complex. They don't even understand the greatness and the value of that knowledge that Allah Ta'ala had blessed them with. They suffer from ihsas-e-kehtari, inferiority complex. So when we say here, alima ilman fanasharahu, he has knowledge and then he passes it on, what could that mean? It means he spreads knowledge, he teaches, he's compiling kitabs, he's encouraging people, so many things all included in this. Nashrul ilm, tadris, ta'lif, targhib, etc. Now today, the Muslimin themselves have gone so far. We become so happy to say that this school has been built and that school has been built. But you would not really truly see that type of happiness if somebody has to say that some type of madrasa has been established here, another madrasa has been established here, etc. So we're coming back to this point about this person who has the knowledge and he passes it on. What happens to him and what is the understanding of this year? Yub'athu amiran. He would be resurrected on the day of Qiyamah as a honorable person. Kal jama'ati laha amirun, like a person who is in a group and for that group there is amir and there is followers as well. So Allah Ta'ala give us the tawfiq and the hidayat of making qadr of this year. So when we're saying that ajwad, that who is the most generous, meaning on the same scale of ajwad, ahsan. The first time when I spoke about this hadith, it was in Baroda. And a person, I remember it till today, even after that majlis, a person came to me and he said to me, Maulana, that this hadith of this nature, we should speak about it so that people can understand what is the value of ilm, what is the value of the ulama. So that person on the day of Qiyamah will be resurrected like that. Kal jama'ati laha amirun wa ma'murun. So this was the qadr. I'll tell you about qadr of hadith. Maulana Habibur Rahman Azmi was leaving Allahabad on one occasion. He comes to meet Hazrat Maulana Muhammad Ahmad Saheb, saying to him, Hazrat, I'm leaving, but listen, the next time when I come, I will relate one hadith to you. Allahu Akbar. Now listen to this. He never was blessed. He was never blessed to come back to Allahabad again. But this was the qadr and the amount of value and importance they attached to one hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. There was a jalsa, Islahul Muslimin, huge jalsa. Thousands of people gathered. Hazrat Maulana came onto the stage and his taqreer was for 3 minutes. In that 3 minutes, what did he have to say? He had to say this year that listen, when we relate and when we quote a hadith, we must see the sanad and the chain of the narrators. Rather, at least, the least we can do is to quote the Sahabi, the last one of the chain there, who is relating the hadith. On one occasion, it was after Asr, and we asked Hazrat Maulana Habibur Rahman Sahib to give us some few words. He spoke very, very briefly, but let me tell you, what did he do? When he started his khutbah, he started the Masnoon khutbah, Alhamdulillah, Nahmaduhu wa nasta'inuhu, long khutbah like that. And after that he said, listen, I'm not going to give you some long lecture. He just said a few words. But listen to this. He said, I mentioned the Masnoon khutbah because I did not want to leave out the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now Allah Ta'ala give us the tawfiq and the hidayat of practicing on these talimat of our forefathers and our pious predecessors. You know, if it is something of English or this or that, a person will go, he'll travel, he'll do this, he'll do that. So we're speaking about qadar. You know, once we were in Africa and Bhuta Saab was there, Maulana Ismail Bhuta, and I asked him, Hazrat Wala is saying, we were in the middle of nowhere, you know what we say, the jungle, and we see the structure, and I asked him, now what is this? Imarat. And he goes on to say, Hazrat, Tahfizul Quran is taught here. And what can I say? When I say in the middle of nowhere, that there could have even been beasts walking around there. And he said something, he said, Hazrat, our hifazat is in this Kalam-e Pak and in this Quran. Here Quran is taught to these children. Jungle mein, bayaban mein. So here, when Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam comes and he asks the question, Hal tadruna? He gave an oral examination that man ajwadu judan. He even cross-questioned, examined, put to test, gave imtihan to the Sahaba. And on that point, when Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam says, after speaking that Allah is the most generous, he says, Thumma ana, thereafter it is me. When he said that, that is maqam-e ta'arif. That is maqam-e ta'aruf, where a person, is introducing himself in reality, showing that that after that position is my position in the court of Allah regarding generosity. So to make izhar and to make that apparent and to bring that to the knowledge of those who are in front, that is absolutely and totally correct. Allah Ta'ala keep us in this tariq and in this path. What azmat, what honor and izzat. Let our niyat always be correct. And let us also be from amongst those who make nashr and spread and pass on. Allah Ta'ala give us the tawfiq and the hidayat of also being meticulous, particular about carrying out tilawat, recitation of the Quran Majid. You know, Hazrat Maulana Abdul Majid Daryabadi, who was a mufassir of the Quran Majid, he had even written about this part of it, that when he went there to spend time with Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab, although his mashghala and his occupation was that of Quran, teaching, making tafsir of the Quran, then too Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab is making talqeen to him that you must make tilawat. Allahu Akbar. So this is knowledge. So tilawat and azimat and basirat and marifat, all these things, Allah Ta'ala keep us with all of this. Izzat, So khairukum man ta'allama al-Qur'ana wa 'allama. When I went to Aligarh University, Hazrat Wala is saying, I spoke on this hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, saying to the people that that was the decision of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This knowledge of yours is zanni. It is on estimation. It is on this and that experiment or this or that or the other zanni. However, this ilm of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is absolutely confirmed. It is absolutely authentic from Allah to Rasulullah sallallahu qat'i. وَمَا يَنْفِقُ عَنِ الْهَوَىٰ. The Nabi does not speak from his side, rather directly from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah ta'ala protect us from riya and ostentation. Here Maulana is sitting here. He'll also be leaving today. Now let us make dua that Allah ta'ala blesses us with beneficial knowledge and accepted deeds and a'mal. Zindagi to guzar rahi hai. Time and the clock is just ticking away. Allah ta'ala let us spend our every moment in His pleasure. Allah ta'ala protect us from hubbud dunya, love for this dunya. This little that we have sat here, small majlis here, few people have gathered. Allah Ta'ala accept it. It may seem small, but how great it is, because we're speaking about the talks, rather the grand statements of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم بحرمة سيد النبي الكريم صلى الله عليه وسلم.